In this video, we're going to work on your practice exam, problem number 2. So in problem number 2, we have Pearl Products Limited of Shenzhen, China, manufactures and distributes toys throughout Southeast Asia. 3 cubic centimeters of solvent H300 are required to manufacture each unit of Super Mix, one of the company's products. The company is planning its raw materials needs for the third quarter, the quarter in which peak sales of Super Mix occur. To keep production and sales moving smoothly, the company has the following inventory requirements. A. Finished goods inventory on hand at the end of each month must equal 3,000 units of Super Mix plus 20% of next month's sales. The finished goods inventory on June 30th is budgeted to be 10,000 units. The raw materials inventory on hand at the end of each month must equal 1/2 of the following month's production needs for raw materials. The raw materials inventory on June 30th is budgeted to be 54,000 cubic centimeters of solvent H300. And C, the company maintains no work-in-process inventories. So we have the monthly sales budget for Super Mix for the third and fourth quarters of the year follows. So in requirement 1, we're supposed to prepare a production budget for Super Mix for the months of July, August, September, and October, and then prepare a direct materials budget showing the quantity of solvent H300 to be purchased for July, August, and September, and for the quarter in total. So let's first start with our production budget. And we're told that we need to do our production budget for July, August, September, and October. The reason why we're doing that is we're going to need the October number for the direct materials budget for this third quarter. So let's get started. For our production budget, the first thing we're going to look at is our total needs for inventory. And if you remember from the production budget, we have 2 needs. We need enough units to sell, and those are given in the problem. So our budgeted unit sales in July are 35,000. In August, they're 40,000. September is just given in the problem, 50,000. And in October, 30,000. Then we also need enough units in our ending inventory. So we're given in the problem that the finished goods inventory on hand at the end of each month must equal 3,000 units plus 20% of the next month's sales. So for July, our ending inventory would be 3,000 units plus 20% of the next month's sales. The next month would be August, and August is 40,000, so plus 40,000 multiplied by 20%. So I'm just going to let Excel calculate that number for me. I'm going to tell Excel to take 3,000 and then add 40,000 multiplied by 20%. So 40,000 times 20% is 8,000 plus 3,000 should equal 11,000 units in the ending inventory. Then we have to calculate our ending inventory for August. Ending inventory for August, 3,000 units of Super Mix plus 20% of the next month's sales. In August, the next month's sales would be 50,000. So for August, we're going to take 3,000 and add 50,000 multiplied by 20%. Once again, because that's what's highlighted on the left, 3,000 units of Super Mix plus 20% of the next month's sales. So 3,000 plus 50,000 multiplied by 20%. Never put commas in your formulas. Our ending inventory for September, 3,000 units plus 20% of the next month's sales. In September, our next month's sales would be October, and that's 30,000 units. So our ending inventory for September, 3,000 units, plus 20% of October sales, the next month's sales. And then finally, we need to calculate October's ending inventory. And to calculate October's ending inventory, we need November's sales. Given in the problem, I've highlighted it on the left in the chart, November sales of 20,000 units. So 3,000 plus 20,000 multiplied by 20%. So 20,000 times 20% is 4,000 plus 3,000 should equal 7,000. Now, at this point, we can calculate the total needs for inventory. So once again, I need to make sure that I that I add all of the numbers in each column. So 35,000 plus 11 in B, 40,000 plus 13,000 in C, 50,000 plus 9,000 in D, and 30,000 plus 7,000 in E. So I'll just use equal sum. Make sure I select the entire range, B4 down to B9. And this is pretty easy to see, 46,000, 53,000, 59,000, and 37,000. Now, from our total needs, all we need to do is subtract out the beginning inventory and since we've already calculated the ending inventory number, the beginning inventory number is very easy to calculate. So our ending inventory for July is going to be the same as our beginning inventory for August. Sorry, that took a long time. Our ending inventory for August, in fact, I can just copy that. Our ending inventory for August is going to be the same as our beginning inventory for September. Our ending inventory for September is going to be the same as our beginning inventory for October. So we have almost all the numbers that we need. So here in August, I want to subtract 11,000. Here in September, I want to subtract 13,000. And here in October, I want to subtract 9,000. Once again, just carrying the numbers over. So to complete this part of the problem, all I need is the beginning inventory for July. And we were told in the problem that the finished goods inventory on June 30th, which is the same as the beginning inventory for July 1st, is budgeted to be 10,000 units. So I put a negative 10,000 here. So since it's a negative number, this is going to be a little confusing, but I need to add to subtract. Otherwise, if I subtracted here, if I did B10 minus B11, I would actually get 56,000. So if I take my total needs and subtract the beginning inventory, I actually come down to units to produce. So for my units to produce, all I want to do is take the total needs and subtract the beginning inventory. So 46,000 minus 10 is 36,000. 53,000 minus 11,000 is 42. 59 minus 13 gives us 46, and 37 minus 9 gives us 28,000. So to fill in our chart, we have all the numbers that we need. Budgeted unit sales are 35,000, 40,000, 50,000, and 30,000. Then to that we add our budgeted ending inventory, ending finished goods inventory, because we're doing a production budget. So that's the 11,000, 13,000, 9,000, and 7,000. So we add those two numbers to come up to the total needs: 46,000, 53,000, 59,000, and 37,000. Then from our total needs, we subtract the beginning inventory. So negative 10,000, negative 11,000, negative 13,000, and negative 9,000. Once we've done that, we've now calculated our required production in units: 36,000, 42,000, 46,000, and 28,000. Now, moving on to requirement number 3. Okay, it looks like there's no requirement number 2. We're supposed to prepare a direct materials budget showing the quantity of solvent H300 to be purchased for July, August, and September, and for the quarter in total. Now, what's going to happen is, for our raw materials budget, we're basically going to do the same thing as the production budget, but what's going to happen here, instead of units to sell, we're going to start off with units required for production. So that's why we did our production budget too. We have over here our units that we want to produce, so we have to figure out what raw materials are required to support that production. So for example, if we wanted to produce 100 tables, we would need 400 legs, right? Because each table has 4 legs. So we need to figure out how many raw materials to support production. Then we add the desired ending inventory to calculate the total needs. And we subtract out the beginning inventory, not to get the units to produce, but the units that we need to purchase in order to support production. So now, instead of our production budget, we're going to go into our direct materials budget. So our direct materials budget starts off with our units to produce. And we've just calculated those numbers and we know that they're correct. So I'll just make reference to those numbers. Now we only need our direct materials budget for July, August, and September. But I'll carry the numbers through to October because we'll need a couple of those numbers as well. So we have our units to produce that I just copied right up from above: 36, 42, 46, and 28. We know that they're correct. So in part B, we're told that the raw materials on hand at the end of each month must equal 1/2 of the following month's production needs for raw materials. But up here, we were told that 3, this is the important part over here, 3 cubic centimeters of H300 are required to manufacture each unit of supermix. So we have our raw materials requirements per unit. And again, highlighted on the left says that if we want to produce, we need 3 cubic centimeters are required to manufacture 1 unit of supermix. So we have to multiply each one of these by 3 to get to our needs for production. So once again, if we want to produce 36,000 units of supermix and 3 units of the solvent, or 3 cubic centimeters are required for each unit, we have to multiply them to get to our total needs of production. So 36,000 multiplied by 3 is going to give us 108,000. 42,000 times 3, 46,000 times 3, and 28,000 times 3. Now that we've got our units of the solvent needed for production, just like up above, we have to add in our desired ending inventory. So we're told in Part B, the raw materials inventory on hand at the end of each month must equal 1/2 of the following month's production needs. So in July, we need for July, the following month is August. For August, we need 126,000 units. So at the end of July, we need half of that amount. So half of next month's production needs, I take the production needs for the following month, multiply that by 50% or by 1/2. So 1/2 of August production needs for the ending inventory of July, 63,000. August, 1/2 of what we need for September. September, 1/2 of what we need for October. And this is why we're not going to do our production budget for October. Our direct materials budget for October, because we would have had to do a production budget for November. So I just put the October numbers up there, but we're not going to need to calculate that because we would actually have to redo our production budget for November. So we've got our desired ending inventory. And again, I actually should have put those calculations in there. So let me take that out. For July, it's going to be 126,000 multiplied by 50%. This will make it a little bit easier. For August, we take 138,000 and multiply that by 50%. For September, I'm going to take 84,000 and multiply that by 50%. That will make it a little bit clearer for you where the numbers come from. So now, just like above, I'm going to ignore lines 16 and 17. I'm going to start off with the number of cubic centimeters of the solvent needed for production and add the desired ending inventory to calculate the total needs for production. So I'm just going to add from the needed for production down to all of the different ending inventories. So the total needs for July, 108,000 and 63,000. We're only going to go to September. For August, 126 and 69. And for September, 138 and 42,000. Now that we have the total needs, we just subtract out the beginning inventory. And once again, just like before, our ending inventory for one period is going to be our beginning inventory for the next period. So our ending inventory for July is going to equal our beginning inventory for August. Our ending inventory for August is going to be our beginning inventory for September. Our ending inventory for September is going to be our beginning inventory for October, but we're not doing October. So negative 63,000, because we're going to subtract it. Negative 69,000. And we're not required to do the direct materials budget for October, only for July, August, and September. So once we know the beginning inventory for July, which is the same as the beginning inventory, the beginning inventory for July, which is the same as the ending inventory for June, we're completely done with this problem. So notice we're told in Part B, the raw materials inventory on June 30th, that's the same as July 1st, budgeted to be 54,000 cc's of solvent H300. So I subtract the 54,000 here as our beginning inventory for July. And just like before, all I have to do is take the total needs and subtract out the beginning inventory. So now we have our total units of direct materials to purchase. So remember, because I put the beginning inventory in as a negative number, to subtract, I'm going to need to add the two cells. So make sure that you start from the total needs. And I'm going to add the positive 171 and the negative 54,000, which will actually subtract. So 171 minus 54,000 is 117,000 units. 195 minus 63 gives me 132. And 180 minus 69 gives me 111,000. Now let's enter the information into requirement 3. So moving on to requirement number 3, just to be able to see all of the numbers a little bit better, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the units needed for production. So required production in units of finished goods. So we're going to use the numbers right across here on line 16, the answer to part 1, requirement 1. So I'm going to put in the 36,000, then the 42,000, 46,000. Now I'm going to add 36,000 plus 42,000 plus 46,000. I'm not going to need October anymore. So I'm going to add those three numbers, and I'm going to get a total for the third quarter of 124,000. 42 plus 36. So now we can see here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see as I'm putting in the formulas. I'll change that now to total so we will not get confused. So once again, that number is just the sum of July, August, and September. So we can see on the next line that we need 3 cubic centimeters per unit of product. We don't add for the quarter. Still for the quarter, we need 3 centimeters per unit. So in each line, I'm just going to multiply the first number by 3. I've already done that on line 18. 36,000 times 3 is 108,000. 42,000 times 3 is 126,000. 46,000 times 3 is 138,000. That's a typo. That should be 46,000, not 42,000. And finally, adding those three numbers together, total for the third quarter, 372,000, which should also be 124,000 multiplied by 3. Now, just like I have here, to the units of raw materials needed to meet production, we want to add the desired ending inventory for raw materials. We've calculated all of those numbers, 63,000, 69,000, and 42,000. Now for the quarter, we don't add the 3 for the ending inventory. The ending inventory as of the third quarter would be the ending inventory as of the end of the third quarter. Ending inventory for September, 42,000. So just like I did here on the right, we have to add everything together to get to the total needs for inventory. So 108 plus 63 gives me 171,000. 126 plus 69 gives me 195,000. 138 plus 42 is going to give me 180,000. And 372,000 plus 42,000 is going to give me 414,000. Now, just like I have here, from the total units of raw materials needed, we just subtract the beginning inventory. So less units of beginning raw materials inventory. So I'm going to subtract 54,000, 63,000, 69,000, and once again, for beginning and ending inventory, I don't add the 3. The beginning inventory for the third quarter is the beginning inventory for July, 54,000. The beginning inventory doesn't change whether it's for the month or the quarter or the year. So 171 minus 54 gives me 117,000. 195 minus 63 gives me 132,000, the bottom number on the right. 180 minus 69 gives me 111,000. And the last number that I need to calculate, 414,000 minus 54,000 is going to give me 360,000. We have now completed problem number 2 from your practice final exam.